Welcome to Al Jazeera. Activists are reporting a massacre in Syria with as many as 200 people killed. The details are still not clear, but it's said to have happened in the town of Tremse. That's around 35 kilometers northwest of Hama. Activists say that after shelling in the morning, a convoy of cars moved in carrying the attackers. In late May, more than 100 people were killed in the village of Taldu on the outskirts of Hula. Many were women and children. United Nations investigators looked into what happened and suggested the attackers may have been pro-government forces. Well, Rula Amin joins us on the phone now from neighbouring Lebanon. Rula, what more can you tell us about these killings in Tremse, and where are we hearing these reports from?
Well, what we're hearing is from the activists themselves. We can't verify this information yet, but the activists, most of them from different groups, are almost telling the same story, that there was shelling and even helicopters, gunships were used against the village early in the morning. It started around 5 a.m. in the morning, and the village was besieged. After that, they say that pro-government militias stormed the village and started killing people. What they're saying is that many of the dead were killed during the shelling, some were slaughtered, and others were burned. Whole families were slaughtered in their entirety, and they say some of those who were killed were also Free Syrian Army members. Now, this is a very small village. It's a mostly Sunni village in an area surrounded by Alawite villages, and that's why the incident raises fears and concerns, whether in Syria or outside the country, of more sectarian violence in the area, and of revenge attacks and counter-attacks. It's not the first time we see such attacks. It's not the first time we see such a massacre, but the numbers this time are really high. And if true, it will prove to be a very significant turning point, even with the international community pressure on the government. And
Rula, as you were saying, reports that the village was attacked with helicopter gunships and tanks. Is that level of weaponry unusual for government forces, if so?
It's not unusual if we've been monitoring the situation in the past 2 months. There's been more usage of these helicopter gunships. The Free Syrian Army and the armed rebels have developed their techniques and attacks, and they have better weapons. We have been seeing videos of them attacking in government tanks, armored vehicles, and these tanks going on fire, burning. And so it seems the government have been got used to using these helicopter gunships to avoid bringing the tanks into the battle and risking them being destroyed or even taken over by the rebels themselves. You know, despite the Kofi Annan plan that calls for the government to cease on using such heavy weapons, whether it's artillery or helicopter gunships, the government still uses these weapons when it's attacking villages and when it's attacking rebel strongholds. And this is something that Kofi Annan, the UN envoy, had spoken about and urged very strongly that the government should stop doing.
All right, Rula, thank you.